All right. Hey, Steve, how's it going? Going to talk
Not too
about
bad.
Nintendo Direct today. Oh,
Been pretty
watching
exciting
Metroid.
news. Pretty exciting stuff.
What did you think the big announcement was from the Nintendo Direct?
Honestly, the thing that got me the most hyped was the GD Mario Brother movie cast announcement.
Okay, that's what I
Every,
thought the biggest was probably for everybody. Uh,
every
it,
time they named a new name, I was just like, I was either like, okay, I don't know how that could work, or I was like, oh my god, that's perfect. And I think that we're just going to have to wait and see how everything turns out. Like, the only one I really had a huge question mark by was Chris Pratt, because, I mean, I know he's a competent actor, he's really awesome in a lot of different things, but yeah, I don't really hear his voice come out of Mario's mouth. Like
that's what
Mario's
I
an old
heard
man.
everybody talk. That's I I had seen the Mario announcement, and that's all I heard is was Chris Pratt as Mario, and people were freaking the fuck out. Yeah, that's kind of the one that I don't see, but I guess it could work.
I hear he's not going to just use his normal voice. He's got like he's working on a different voice for the character.
Like a fake
So
Italian accent.
I don't know, probably maybe.
Well,
Well, there's nothing to see.
yeah, everything I saw was people losing their shit, and that's kind of what I.
Like Charlie Day as Luigi. That was so awesome. That's going to be awesome. And fucking Keegan Michael Key as
Oh
Toad.
yeah, and
This
Jack
is
Black as
like
Bowser,
Black as Bowser. That's enough to get
and
me
Seth
to.
Rogen as Donkey Kong. I mean, the Jack
Oh my
Black
god.
as Seth Rogen. I'm like totally down for that. And
Yeah, me
yet,
too. That's like the first time a movie besides a Marvel movie has got me any kind of excited in the past like 10 years.
yeah, I think besides the Mario casting, I'm pretty excited about the casting. But yeah, I think that was obviously the biggest thing. I'm kind of looking forward to it. Not so much that I want to see the movies. I just want to see how it all comes together.
Yeah, like it's gonna be a completely animated movie. It's not gonna be like the Sonic movie where like Sonic comes to our world. I never saw that movie, but I saw a lot of trailers and a lot of because people liked it, but I don't know. It just seemed a little bit
It's on
weird.
Hulu. It's actually pretty good. I enjoyed it more than I thought I would, especially after all the people like didn't like his eyes or something or his
Yeah,
teeth.
his whole design they changed.
Yeah,
Like they showed his design as a trailer, in a trailer or something, and people just freaked out. So they actually went in and changed his entire design.
yeah. I'm looking forward to this. I think I think it was the big thing, and
I mean, they got Shigeru Miyamoto to come out and announce it himself, and if he's working on it, then it should be good.
yeah, that's kind of my. It's and there's not like a whole lot, but the casting sounds exciting, and uh, Chris Pratt's all right. Maybe not as a Mario, but it's animated, so we'll see.
And then they got the Anna Taylor Joy as Princess Peach.
I don't.
I've never seen anything with her in it, but she's a pretty girl, and she's in things that I
Yeah, I don't know
like.
who she is. I didn't know who Charlie Day was either. I mean,
Oh,
he's a pretty
Charlie, he's from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It's like a
okay.
sitcom that's been going for like 15,
Okay.
20 years. It's hilarious. You should check it out.
Yeah, those I knew who everybody else was, and I was really excited about everybody else, but I didn't know who the Anna Taylor Joy and Charlie Day were.
Anna Taylor Joy, she was like in the Queen's Gambit, I think, and then also the New Mutants. She was like one of the main
Okay,
characters in that
I haven't seen
X
either
Men
one of
movie.
those.
That kind of flopped. Yeah, there was a whole like what. Let's not even get into the New Mutants. We don't have
Okay,
to. Anyway,
all right. So, like, anything else you have to say about the new movie?
um, I'm just super excited, and I can't wait till it comes to Nintendo's new streaming service.
Uh,
That's gonna come out in a year.
that's
I don't know.
probably what the next thing. I thought the next biggest announcement was the Nintendo Switch Online announcement.
Oh my god, yeah, true that.
I mean,
That
like, what were your feelings on that?
uh, I looked at like there's a lot of great games that are going to be coming out right away. I'm more excited for the N64 stuff than the Genesis stuff, but if I down the line, Paper Mario's coming out, And if that was a day one thing, I could definitely play through Paper Mario anytime.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's for me. I wasn't a big fan of the 64 like everybody else. But I mean, some of the Genesis stuff looks okay, but I don't think I'm gonna get this. Is this something you're gonna get day one or?
Um, Probably not. Unless it's like right now, the Switch Online for.
Yeah, I don't even use the Switch. I mean, I love the Super. I thought Super Nintendo and was the best system that I had.
Right.
And now the Switch. I mean, I took like a. I think I had a 64. I never had a GameCube, and I didn't do the Wii U. I'm not. I know people who have the Wii U, and I'm not impressed by it.
Well, the Wii U had a lot of ports and things that you couldn't get really anywhere else, and a lot of big first-party titles came out eventually were ported to the Switch.
Okay.
Or kind of updated to the Switch. But the online service, it's right now it's $3.99 a month, and if it's not any more than $9.99,
$9.99 seems expensive.
Well, if it's maybe I could see $7.99 maybe because you're getting twice the amount of systems now.
I have the $20. I just have the $20 thing, and I don't even use my Switch, but I just keep it because $20 a year is nothing.
Right.
But I mean, I was really into the Tetris 64 for a while. The Battle Royale Tetris, that was freaking awesome, and I did that for a few weeks. But I don't even think I started playing my Switch a little bit when the power was off, but yeah, it just wasn't. I didn't really. It's not my system of choice. But like,
I play it less and less. Like I keep buying games on that are coming to Steam that I once owned on Switch, or that I do own on Switch, and it's because I can't. It's hard for me to stream it, and even if I do hook it up, I got the old capture card thing. There's a delay. I can't figure out how to play the game without a delay, cast at the same time. So I kind of lost interest in a lot of the games that I had on. I'm really all about streaming everything I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but that's what kind of turned me off on a lot of the Switch stuff. But
yeah,
there's
I have same problem as you do.
There's some huge Pokemon games coming out in November and January that I'm definitely picking up, definitely going to be playing through. And at least the Diamond and Pearl remakes, they're turn-based, so I can play those with the delay and just suck it up if I want to stream that.
Yeah, I'm trying to think about how, because I have an Elgato capture card, but it's a USB 2 instead of a USB 3 because my computer's old as shit, and I have the delay too.
I could never figure out how to fix the delay. I looked up guides, and pretty much they just said that you can do a few things, but you're pretty much going to be stuck with at least a second delay no matter what you do.
Would you consider like just recording and then do a voiceover? It's a lot of work. I mean, you basically have to rewatch it and then comment on what you're doing.
I'm more of a lazy ass, sloppy ass. Record it and post it or stream it and.
Yeah, that's how this podcast is going
to
go.
Oh man, don't say that. I got a splitter too. I got a HDMI splitter, but it didn't have it's just a basic one. It's not a power sourced one. Because I figured I can split it. I can send my Switch to my laptop and then to my TV, and it won't be lagging on my TV, so I can pay attention to everyone else's.
Yeah.
You need a power source one to do that. Like it wouldn't. It was glitching out, and it didn't work, and it pissed me off. I only spent like $5 on it, so what should I expect?
Right. Yeah, I mean, as long as you can record it, and if there's like a little bit of delay, it is what it is.
At the same time, like another one of the games that I'm excited about that really wasn't the main thing of this direct, but they did bring it up. is Metroid Dread.
Okay,
Like
I was actually gonna guess what's the stuff that I thought was your favorite stuff. That was one of them. I thought
oh, shit.
you were gonna really be into Triangle Strategy, Metroid Dread, and the Castlevania collection, and maybe Chocobo Grand Prix.
You were pretty much spot on. That's a no on the Chocobo Grand Prix, but I do appreciate that it's Final Fantasy. But yes, the Castlevania collection is basically Metroid games, and Castle Metroid Dread is a first new 2D one in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I went up. By the time I decided to get it, it was like too late because the prices on those games skyrocket after they've been out for a while. So I never got to play Samus Returns, which was a remake of the second one in the series. But anyway,
Yeah.
at the same time, now I'm like a dedicated RPG player, and like anything actiony or skill based, I'm not sure if I can handle it anymore.
Oh,
I'm not in my 20s anymore, man. I
right.
just need, I just want to make my numbers go up so I can kill enemies faster because I have big numbers.
Okay. So yeah, I saw. I figured Metroid Dread was gonna be the big thing for you. It obviously wasn't the thing for me, but like, what do you think about the Planet ZDR and the X Parasite? I mean, were you digging the story, or were you just like digging? Oh man, it's Samus and she's in her suit, and
Yeah. Oh man, I could show you some things I've collected up Twitter. Um, you know what? I'm excited for it because it looks pretty damn sleek, but at the same time, a lot of the mechanics. And I always think of Metroid biological enemy or Samus is fighting biological enemy. That's kind of turned like marginally, but if I ever have a month or two where I have an extra $60 to throw at and games coming, I might pick it up and give it a whirl.
all right, yeah, that's the thing. These are all going to be like $60, $70 games.
Yeah. And I've already got like I said, there's Pokemon games. There's the Endwalker expansion for Final Fantasy 14. There's two more Pixel remasters coming out, and I don't even know what else. There's too many. One of the what did you think of Knights of the Old Republic remake?
Um, I thought that was good. I haven't played it. I heard it's like the MMO, which I did play. I mean, I think that's a good. Everyone I've heard talk about it really liked it. I think that's a good addition. Probably not going to play it. I mean, there were two games that I liked. I want to see if you can guess what my two favorite announcements were game wise.
Uh, was it that card game by chance?
That was the first. That's probably my most favorite.
What about Triangle Strategy? Is that too obvious?
Nope. Nah, not. I try.
Okay.
I knew that you really liked that. I was like, oh man, this is like anime as fuck. It looks like Final Fantasy. I'm like, Steve's gonna or Macho Metroid's gonna love this.
Is
It
it?
was the Disco Elysium, and I've heard like a lot of other people talk about that.
Ooh.
That I probably won't get it on Switch, but I've been thinking about getting it on PC or Xbox. But yeah, that card game that what's it called? Voice of the Cards did the Isle Dragon Roars. I mean that seemed like right up my alley. Like tabletop and cards.
Oh yeah.
might get that. It looked pretty anime too. I thought you might have liked it as well.
Um, I might download the demo and check it out. I think the demo's out. I think they announced that the demo was coming out that day, so I might check it out. I know one of my other people I follow on Twitter saying it's, so I trust his opinion.
Okay. Um, what did you think about the opener? They opened up with Monster Hunter. I mean, did
That
that?
is a series I don't have a lot of experience with, but I'm kind of curious about it, I guess.
It was on Xbox for a while, or Xbox Game Pass. Um, not my thing, but I know that it's big in Asian markets. I mean, like they're crazy about that shit.
What is like what is it? I don't really understand like how does the gameplay flow, do you know?
You basically like go on to these like they're like mission based things, and you just go attack giant ass monsters. And sometimes you have people that can like randomly come in if you want, or you and your friends can just go hunt monsters, and you get like materials from the monsters, and then you just make better armor and you fight bigger monsters. The fights are, at least for me, when I was like just starting out, they took forever until like somebody more badass just came into my game and just like took down the monster for me. Like, but they're just like hard as hell. Like you're hopping all over the place. The monster, it's like boss fights. Like if you like WoW raid boss fights, that's what it seemed like to me. But I didn't
Like,
get very far.
is it like Dark Souls or like Sekiro or anything?
I haven't played Dark Souls. I've heard of Dark Souls, but I've never played it. It just like the closest thing. It's not really my type of game. WoW raiding is the closest thing, or WoW boss fights is the closest thing that I can compare it to.
I like the FF14 boss fights. They're the funnest part of the dungeon.
It might be
And
like that. You basically, and you have like your class is like kind of a weapon. Like you have a sword or a spear or like a bow, and then all your abilities and stuff are based off what your weapon is, from what I remember.
I downloaded a demo of one for the 3DS. I think I just like ran around in the snow and then stopped playing.
Oh, okay.
But I hear a lot of people like it, and I'm trying to expand my horizons from.
Yeah.
Well, not lately. I've been really focusing on 12, but once I'm done with that, I'm gonna try and play something different.
Well, I think another big one is Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity. What did you think about that? The Zelda.
I was a huge fan of Breath of the Wild, and I'm definitely looking forward to Breath of the Wild 2. But I never gotten into any of the like Dynasty Warrior type Hyrule Warriors or anything like that. There's even that you'd think I would like a lot, but I feel like it's just a lot of is it a lot of button mashing?
It looked pretty much like Breath of the. I never finished Breath of the Wild. I got stuck on the. Oh, I never really tried to find the fire gear to go into the fire realm to fight the fire
Oh,
beast or whatever, and I just stopped playing.
I got to the very end, and I was like scavenging the Hyrule Castle and everything, hunting for Ganon, and I stopped playing. I put so much time into it, though. I got every tower, beat every divine beast. I loved it, and was super hyped about. I don't know what happened. Another game came along. I got obsessed with. Just got shoved to the wayside, sadly. I
Yeah.
did that with fucking Skyward Sword too. I got to the very end of that, and then to get the best shield in the game, degrade. You had to do a boss rush mode as you had beaten. We had to beat them all, and I was working on that because I didn't want, and I could never complete the boss rush mode, so I stopped playing that.
Right.
Sadly,
Yeah. It's just it seems like too much work and then it's gonna end. I'd rather play something like an MMO or something that's got like a little more PvP elements.
or more of a story too.
Was there?
I'm a big story guy.
Yeah. Was there anything else that stuck out? Any games that stuck out to you? Like
Um,
strategy maybe?
yeah, that looks a lot like the old Final Fantasy Tactics and Tactic. Um, I know that there's been a demo of it. That's one that I might pick up on a
Like a
these
sales
months.
sort of thing?
Maybe if it ever comes to Steam. I know Bravely Default 2 just came out to Steam, and it's made by the same team, I think, or similar, or an adjacent team, or something like that. So I feel like it'll be on Switch for maybe 6 months, and then go to Steam. Bravely Default 2. So that maybe I'll pick it up when it's on Steam. I don't know.
Yeah, it looked
But
like
it,
something that was like right up your alley. It's like the super turn based, super Final Fantasy, Japanese as
I
hell.
like the seem that branching pathways, and I like your responses make a difference.
Well, that's kind of like yeah. That's why I
That's,
like Disco Elysium. I heard that it's like your choices affect it. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe if I could get I could be persuaded on triangle strategy, but maybe. I don't. It just seems the turn-based stuff seems, I don't know. Turn-based RPGs aren't really my thing.
Oh, they are my main thing.
Oh,
So
oh, dude, like that's pretty much your like only thing for like.
yeah. Sadly, I don't know if that's sad or not, but maybe it is.
Yeah. I mean, like I pretty much only play Hearthstone, so.
I mean, I follow pretty much my majorly, yeah, primarily is what I mean to say. I follow primarily people that also love. When I go on Twitter, it's just like everybody has a hard on for Final Fantasy, and it's just like
It's
these are my
Square
people.
Enix, right? You're like a Square Enix guy.
Yeah,
Okay. No, I understand. I'm like that with Blizzard.
I hear you.
Um, anything else that you saw that like
Um, the Kirby game kind of. I probably will never buy it, but it's interesting.
yeah, I wasn't a Kirby. I don't know, like the stuff in like the real world, like the Mario with the hat. What was that called?
Honestly,
Yeah, I that just I don't know. It looked cool, but it's Kirby's not my thing either. I think I played the Kirby Yarn game was the only Kirby game I've ever owned, and like
I
Smash
remember
Brothers.
one of my birthdays when I was young, maybe like 9 or 10. It was well, it would have been 1993 because theaters. It was my birthday, and I got Kirby's Adventure for the Nintendo. And my aunt offered to take me and my cousin to see that day, and I turned it down just so I could play Kirby's Adventure
Oh wow.
to see the movie. And I played it, and I loved it, man. That was like one of the first games I ever beat. Like, and beating a game was like, in those days, it didn't happen all the time. Sometimes you had a game and you beat it, but that was like a
Yeah,
beat, and
I think one of the first like NES games I ever beat was like Mario 3,
yeah,
and it took
it just gives you
forever.
that thrill of like completion and like achievement, I guess.
Yeah.
Guess that's the thrill I've been chasing ever since then.
No, I
Just
hear
a
you.
thrill.
I don't even beat many games now. I mean, like most of the games I play are open ended
Yeah,
because it's kind of like I don't know. Sometimes I feel the way about games I feel about like series on like I get real sad when they're done, so I try to pick stuff that doesn't necessarily end, like Hearthstone or I play Diablo where you can just pretty much redo it every season, every few months you just replay the game.
it's either like it's too short or it's too long for me to
Oh,
get into a lot of the shows that are out today. Like, I'm the only shows I really watch are ones that I've watched, like that have been going for about years, and I'm dedicated watching them. You see,
I was gonna say yeah, you watch One Piece and One Piece is like ridiculous, isn't it, in length?
yeah, I stopped watching it. I started reading it just because it would go a lot faster. I'm still got like 100 chapters fully caught up, and we're going to be
Yeah.
5 more years before it's over. And yeah, there's like 900 episodes of the anime, better chapters of the, and that's dedication. But One Piece is worth it. Like, if I could persuade you to get into anything,
Okay, yeah, maybe. We'll have to see.
like at least there's a live action series coming out. At least give that.
Okay,
It's gonna be like 10 hour long episodes, and I'm really thinking that it's gonna make One Piece a thing in the United States more than it's like it's like the hugest thing in Japan, right? And it has been for the past 20 years. It's like it's almost It's competing with Superman and Batman
okay.
lifetime sales.
I
That's
know a
how
lot of
big it
people that
is.
are into Dragon Ball.
Well,
So,
Dragon Ball was One Piece is kind of like its spiritual successor. That's how somebody said that on a podcast I listened to years and years. Initially, made me give One Piece a chance because they were like, "Oh, it's similar to Dragon Ball." The author was a Dragon. and it's better than Dragon. It's like 20, 50 times better than Dragon Ball Z.
All
I
right,
don't even.
that's high praise coming from you because when we were younger, that's all you were Dragon Ball obsessed. Everything was like Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball.
Yeah. I still log into a Dragon Ball gotcha game and collect the free rewards and do my free draws and shit. But other than that, I haven't watched Super at all. I haven't seen many of them. Once you go Super Saiyan 3 or 4, it's like, how far can you go after that? Now they have a form called Saiyan God. Like, there was Saiyan God, and then Saiyan God went hair turned blue.
Mm.
That's what's going on in Dragon Ball Z right now. Dragon Ball Super, I mean to say.
Uh it probably that probably does not. If my opinion doesn't really change about
Yeah, I don't expect it to. I don't expect it to.
it.
Like, I don't. It's not even. I don't even know how much the original author is involved with it anymore.
Well,
Other
yeah,
dudes.
it's old. It's like what 30 some maybe almost 30, 40 years old.
Like, I heard someone describe it as like a direct to DVD
Okay,
quality.
that kind of quality. So basically, just trying to milk it from like the hardcore people.
Pretty much. I mean, I think there's some games though out there like Dragon Ball Fighter Z or Fighters.
Well, there
I think
was
it's a pretty popular
that
game.
jump game or something like I saw it was on Xbox Game Pass. I'm like, did you ever play that? Jump
No,
Force.
but I've
Jump
seen it.
Force.
It's got like Naruto and
Yeah,
One Piece characters and Dragon Ball characters and Bleach again and all that.
a bunch of fan service.
It's
Yeah.
like a Smash Brothers, I guess, of the Japanese mangas, which was a cool idea. And if I was 15 years old still, I'd probably be all.
Well, I was just thinking about that. That's the thing. Like, it's harder for games now because there's like so much. There's like so much competition. I mean, there's like so many games. There's more games than you can ever play. There's so many more free games than you can ever play. There's so much more TV shows than you can ever play.
Yeah, yeah.
You have so much choice. I mean, it's like something has to be like really good or like really be your
And my
niche.
attention span is for shit these days. I either have to be beeping, I have to be playing something, or I'm just like zoning out and listening to a podcast. Those are my two extremes. I'm not in the middle like enjoying a story of in a visual medium just like by itself. I have to be like leveling up my guys or some shit. You know?
Okay,
So
yeah.
it's like it's upsetting, but I'm hoping that I can like change and go back to enjoying simple things like television programs and movies.
Okay. Well, yeah,
Like
no,
I
I
read.
understand about like I games need to
Well,
have
anyway,
progression, or I'm not.
I think
I'm not
we're
into it.
digressing. I think a bit here.
Did anything else like seem really interesting to you in the direct?
No.
What'd you think about Animal Crossing? I know that's like one of the biggest
Well,
things that
well,
people talk about.
the thing that kind of made me laugh was like, what are we doing? What is this direct?
Say that
Like how
again.
they have. What is this like a Nintendo Direct? Direct like we're gonna tell you when the Smash Brothers announcement's coming in. Smash Brothers Direct next. And actually,
I think that's pretty. I mean, like, yeah, they do that at E3 too, and they do that with Blizzard. They like basically like. I think it's so that they don't piss people off. Like people are following these things,
right.
and they don't want. They want to basically like, hey, we didn't forget about you, but it's coming later. It's kind of like what I feel about when they did that BlizzCon 2008 when they didn't even mention Diablo 4. People lost their fucking shit.
Is Diablo 4 a thing?
Yeah, it is. Not for a while, but it's in development.
I'd rather have Warcraft 4, man.
Yeah, I kind of would too. I don't even know if I'm gonna get the next WoW expansion, honestly.
I heard that the Warcraft 3 reimagined or whatever.
It totally bombed.
That sucks. I remember so many. We have, I mean, so many good memories playing that game.
Yeah, I think that was probably like, I mean, that was the game we played the most. I think we played that and Quake, and
Yeah.
Warcraft 2, and a little bit of what was that other game?
Age of Empires, Star Wars,
Age of Empires. There was like in the Dungeon Siege.
Dungeon Siege. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember that movie that came out,
Oh, the
King's
Dungeon
Tale,
Siege. Oh, and we went and
in the
saw
name of
it,
the
and it was
king?
so Ewan Boll or whatever his name is, the guy
Yeah.
that makes horrible movies. It totally sucked.
That guy made like 3 or 4 more after that sequels.
Didn't he make a bunch of like what was it like?
I don't even know what that guy's got. I think he's got some shading or something.
Well,
Or
he
I'm
used to
thinking of somebody
basically
else.
he got a bunch of like money from the country he was from, and he'd make shitty movies. And it didn't matter if they did well at the box office because he got all this money from the government just to make movies in his country.
Shit.
It was like Resident Evil. I think he did some Resident Evil or some stuff like that. Maybe not. Maybe I remember some or
I think
Silent Hill or something.
we're living in a time where anybody can kind of make the movie they want. Like Kevin Smith, he's like he made Jane Silent Bob reboot, and then it really was he took it on, and wasn't like, but fans went making Clerks 3 kind of the same way, and it's not going to be a huge release like his older movies, but he's getting to make them the way he. And I
He
think
wants, yeah.
a lot of folks are. I mean, anybody with an iPhone can take pretty decent video these days.
Well, yeah,
And
I think
edit
that's
right.
like, yeah. If you have like the will to do it, I mean, you can get it out there now. And like another thing is like, there's like so much shit too for him to compete against. Like we talked about before, there's like Netflix and like there's
Yep.
no gatekeepers anymore. You can just make whatever you want. And it might not be the biggest audience, but you can make it.
And you will find an audience most of the time.
Oh, definitely. I'm looking over the list of other things that were.
That Bayonetta. I've never
Oh.
played a Bayonetta game, but she can dance, baby.
I was like, that's what I was. I saw that and I was like, it seems like there's two monsters fighting, and she's just like standing there dancing. Like, what the fuck is this?
I don't know. I've never played a Bayonetta game, but I think they're pretty popular. I mean,
Oh, that's like that was the closer. So I'm guessing it's got to be like an Asian market thing or like a Japanese market thing. Because like I totally didn't get it. That and it seemed like Splatoon 3 was another like big release
yeah.
too. And I
That's
think
another game I have no interest in, but I know is really popular.
yeah, I think if I was younger and instead of like I could see myself playing Splatoon 3 instead of Quake. If that was all there was. Like I'm not into shooters
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah, if I was younger, I'd be totally about John. Got set in my ways.
But yeah, it's like kids nowadays have so many games, and I know kids, and it's like they're just into Fortnite. What's the other one? Roblox and Minecraft. But I mean, it's like all this stuff just seems like wasted on them. Like they have their games that are like old versions of us, where they're not trying to explore things. Cause maybe it's because games are so good now. Like you can have a game, and I think they build games to like last forever. They don't make games usually to be like short experiences.
Yeah, I was listening, yet again, I was listening to another podcast. That's pretty much all I do these days. But they were talking about this guy had sat his daughter down with like first Meg, and she just explained it. There was no story. He didn't even jump her to the right and died, I guess.
You're breaking up a little bit.
Oh, really?
It's like it's like choppy. Like I don't know. Do you have your microphone on like some kind of activation?
I'm just using the onboard mic,
Okay.
my laptop. Is it still choppy?
No, it's actually better now. So she was just playing what?
The original Mega Man on Nintendo.
Oh, that seems like that's hardcore.
That's true. I can't even beat that game. Never could.
I think I played a little bit on the Nintendo online service.
I
I
could
think
beat
I
Mega
got
Man
past like
that.
the first level, and that was it. And I'm like, this is way too much.
Like if you want to save, you got to write down a huge password and shit. But I mean, at the time, those were like the huge hits.
Mm-hmm. I remember
They
back in
don't
the
even like
'80s when I was like 5 or 6. I used to play Zork, the text-based adventure game. Like you just basically had to say, I move here, I attack.
And I used to play King's Quest, man. Which is like the next, I guess, the next stage of that, maybe.
Yeah.
That was like the first game to have real graphics, and that was just, I mean, you almost had more freedom in those games because you could type in what you wanted to do. You didn't have like just a cancel. You had the thing that really made me fall in love with it said hump the bed, and the game said, "Oh, you were raised by a naughty wizard," and I was like, "He actually humped the bed." Oh.
Well, yeah, I think like you there was like a lot to leave up to your imagination. I mean, like games now don't like leave a lot to the imagination. It's just like constantly dopamine hits, like just crazy shit going on all over the place. Like that Bayonetta shit. Like you have like two monsters fighting, and like oh, if that's not enough, there's like some sexy woman just like dancing around while the monster's fighting. It doesn't make any sense, but I'm sure it does something for someone.
Yeah, like, is it a rhythm game? Is it an action game?
I didn't
Is
even
it
think
like
it could be a rhythm game. I have no idea.
I'm too old to learn new technology?
I'm sure that's Bayonetta is like an old game, but it never hit my radar. Let's see what else was there. Mario Golf,
Eh,
and then there was the Mario Party thing. I actually kind of thought the Mario Party Superstars. I'd play that if I had
I'd
some
play that if
people
I
over.
wasn't socially awkward.
What's that?
I'd play that if I wasn't socially anxious and awkward.
Right?
Like, I remember some good times back in the day, getting a bunch of dudes together and playing Mario Party.
Mm-hmm.
Some good times.
Uh, yeah. Like I haven't really had somebody that I've actually played games online. Like we did a little bit, but usually it's like there's like platform differences. Like there's like so much variety. Everybody has their own things. At least the people I know, not like kids now, where they can all cross play Fortnite no matter or Minecraft what platform. I think that's why they are so good. It's like you can be on mobile, you can be on Switch, you can be on PC, and you can all play these games together. And I think that's like one of the reasons why they're so successful with the kids. Oh, and another thing is like kids are really into like League of Legends.
Yeah, like another podcast I listened to, the two guys that played Merry and Pippin from. They have a whole segment on their show, and their attempts to get Sean Astin and Elijah Wood to play with them, and they're like all about the game. And I installed.
Have you ever played League of Legends before?
No, is it similar to like Dota and
Exactly like Dota and Heroes of the Storm.
it's too impermanent for me to even consider playing because isn't it like a one and done, just like a match, and then if you win, you win, and if you
Well,
lose, you cry yourself to.
uh, you always get currency to unlock new cosmetics and unlock new characters. I mean, there's like a certain collection aspect to it. Um,
Ooh,
I think since I'm a Blizzard guy, I think that Heroes of the Storm is the best one. But I remember back in like the early 2000s that I was playing League of Legends and it was considered the inferior one to something called Heroes of New Earth, and then like League goes like totally dead for a while, and then like 10, 15 years later, like all of a sudden League's like the shit, and like nobody even talks about Heroes of New Earth anymore.
yeah. I've never even heard of that game. I'm sorry.
It was like just like as soon as they were basically trying to capitalize on the Dota mod in Warcraft 3. I mean, like we used to play Dota all the time in the
Fuck yeah.
the customs game. So
Hell if I knew how to hell if I knew how to understand how to craft things, but It was fun trying out all the different classes. Like there's so many different heroes or whatever you could choose, and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah. So I'm like, I'm just surprised that it's a big thing with kids, and like I was like hearing that like Among Us, another big thing with kids. I mean, that game was like just like chilling for like 2 years, then all of a sudden it just becomes big. I'm like, I don't know if it's like streamers on Twitch or like social media or what, but these like things just catch on. And I guess that's kind of cool too.
Yeah, I mean, kids these days don't have to do what we did. They got all kinds of different options, and they know probably a lot more about the shit than we do.
Well, and these are like this is free to play stuff, and like back in the day, it was you had to pay like 30 to 50 bucks, and either you got a good game or you were screwed, and you were just out of your money. Or you had to go to the video store and like basically
Rent.
just draft through stuff and find something.
So I found Final Fantasy 2, baby.
Video store?
Yep, Super Kmart.
Oh,
And
nice.
it was all downhill from there.
I'm trying to think. I think it was Warcraft 2 is really what got me started. Like I was going through a bad time. Some crazy shit went down. I'm like, I need a game, and they're like, oh, here's this battle chest for like 20 bucks at Warcraft 2. I'm like, aw, shit. But I had Diablo 2 before that, but like, Warcraft 2 is really what got me into Blizzard. Or yeah, I think of Diablo or Diablo 2. I forget which one. But yeah,
Yeah.
like I don't know. I thought the direct was good, but not a whole lot of stuff for me. Maybe the voice of the cards.
That, I'm never going to play it, but I think it's kind of cool, the accurate remake. I know that's a hardcore game for the Super Nintendo, and I remember watching this one dude just bash his head against just the first stage. Couldn't even beat the first stage for like an hour. So that game is hardcore, and I hope some people like it.
Mm-hmm. I don't even remember seeing that one. I don't even have it on my list of stuff. Was that like one of the ones they quickly went through?
Kinda, yeah. It's the one where it's side-scrolling, but
Okay.
like the god of the world. I don't
And
know.
I saw Shadowrun on there. I keep seeing that, but I think I actually have it. It was a free Twitch game. Like I guess it's a big thing. I'm thinking about maybe I'll try that since I already have it. And
That Castlevania came to Steam right away too. I'm
the
probably gonna cheat
Castlevania
on my
collection.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna cheat on my Switch and just buy it on
Probably easier to stream too.
totally.
And I think, like you said, the Star Wars: The Knights of the Old Republic. I mean, that's like a good thing for like people that have Switch. Did you ever play Hades off Game Pass?
Uh, I watched a video of someone playing it. Kind of decided it wasn't for me.
Okay, yeah, I think I do remember you saying that. And then Disney Magical World. That really wasn't.
I can't wait for that game to come out.
I think that's good for kids. I think.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah,
remember back in the day
eventually.
when it was like what a true gamer was? It was like a very like you had to be like a gamer, bro. Like kind of like a real.
Like I remember getting super excited to play Aladdin on Super Nintendo. Like I bought that on one of my birthdays and I played it and I loved it and I hard and that was me at like 12 years old, man.
Well, yeah, I mean, like you were kind of like off in your box in a little world. Like you just liked what you like, and
There was
people
no
were talking
internet.
about video
Like,
games.
there was no hype or anything. You just took chances on games and sometimes they were good, sometimes they sucked, and that's just the way she goes.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I think we covered pretty much everything.
I think we really did.
I mean, there wasn't. I mean, there was like a few things. I think the Mario movie, obviously the biggest thing, but I mean, they didn't really give a whole lot except for the cast, and then just like a bunch of other shit. Like anything else that game related? Anything now? What do you're kind of just playing Final Fantasy stuff? I'm guessing.
Yep, I started playing the Final Fantasy IV Pixel Remaster, patiently waiting for the 5 and 6.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really going ham on Final Fantasy 12 The Zodiac Age. Um, and I log into FF14 and sell things on the auction house, and I'm patiently waiting the 19th.
The 19th is new content.
Yep, huge content. Like, over the past, there's been 3 expansions, and then the base game, A Realm Reborn, and this next expansion is going to finish the story.
Oh,
Like,
nice.
there will be new expansions after that come up with new stories. At least that's what they've said, but this Endwalker is it's gonna be huge.
Sounds pretty cool.
You sound enthused.
Well, you're basically saying like a bunch of stuff that I have. I
I know. I'm
have you been
sorry.
like, checking out Game Pass or anything? I haven't been playing
I
anything
do
on.
look. I do go on to Game Pass every once in a while just to see what new games have come out, and I don't know. There's some on there that seem like it could be pretty cool. Also huge. I'd be taking a huge chance, and if I got into one of them, it'd be a huge commitment.
Well, like okay, there's
Listen,
like something called like Lost Worlds or Sable. There's Subnautica Below Zero. I kind of want to play that Subnautica Below Zero.
like I thought about trying out the Fable games. I remember wanting to play them. Like that was the only reason I would ever have bought an Xbox back in the day.
Final Fantasy 13 just hit there. You probably already know about that.
Yep.
Um, Myst is on there too. I was thinking about playing Myst.
That's another one. I was like, that was like huge back in the day.
I think that
That was
was
like
almost 90s.
it was like groundbreaking or some shit, wasn't it? Sold PCs.
Yeah, I remember as a kid I couldn't solve any of the puzzles.
Yeah, I had no idea how to play it. I remember we bought it and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I was like,
Uh,
what is? There's no Goombas to jump on or anything. What the?
yeah, like yeah, it was based. There was like no instructions. There were like no hints. But I mean, like I think I could smash it now, and I think I might. Like who knows?
I don't know, man.
But yeah, I'm trying to think of like. There's like so much stuff. I'm like, I wish I could just give all these games to me as a kid. Like I played the Carrion. There's like Command and Conquer. There's like a bunch of old shit.
On summer vacation.
Yeah, I mean this would be like awesome to have as a kid. But I mean like with YouTube now, like would like if we were kids like we had YouTube, how much gaming would we actually get done? Because I mean like a lot of these kids just watch YouTube.
I remember, I, my mom would record a lot of shit off of TV and there was this one tape with Super Mario Brothers 2 commercial on it, and I would rewatch that commercial because somebody talking about a game I was interested in, and that was like an amazing special thing for me when I was really young. And like if I knew things like YouTube, like things like G4 and Tech TV, if I had any idea, my mind would have just been blown. Would have had a heart attack and died.
Oh yeah. Like yeah, any like if I could watch people play D&D as a kid, like those D&D podcasts, I would have just watched people play
Yeah.
D&D nonstop.
I always dreamed of like someone playing a D&D game but then animating it, and Dan Harmon did that, and I can't remember. I think it's called Harmon Quest. It was on one of them streaming services. Got into. He did what I always thought would be cool to do, and I wish I would have given it a chance or something.
I mean, there's some I could have seen you as a kid doing that, doing like stop motion D&D, get your miniatures out, and, like do a story, DM it, and then like solve play it out.
I always thought of doing like an animation of a Magic game played, like somebody played a land and animate like a
That,
picture, and then when they had a monster would show up, and then like
that actually
that.
sounds really cool.
But that would have been that would have been a huge fucking project. I don't know if I could, but I had the idea. Now there's like Yu-Gi-Oh! If you want anything like that.
Right? What do you think about? I'm trying to look at games that we might be able to play down the road, like Minecraft Dungeons or something. Like I don't know, find something on Xbox and like maybe that like a podcast we could do that. Quake 2's on there too. Uh,
What about that? What about that Neverwinter? Wait, what was it? Forgotten Realms, Darkest Dungeon or Dark Dungeon
I
or
did
something like that.
I did download the Dark Alliances. Yeah,
Dark
isn't that what it's called?
Alliances. Yeah,
I did download that, so that
I
may
heard
be.
it got shitty. I heard it got shitty reviews, but I mean, just for we could play it for a little bit. I guess people's complaint about it was that it was like a bit grindy. You had to grind a lot, but I mean, fuck it, we'll have fun.
Mm-hmm. That and I mean, there's like so much shit here. But yeah, I think that's. I mean, I think that's good. Or do you have anything else you want to talk about?
Um, I think I'm good, man. We almost doubled our almost doubled our runtime this episode. I think we got a pretty respectable 50 minutes going.
All right, sounds good. I'll talk to you later, man.
Peace out.
Peace.